Hi, my name is Lacey Schmidt for the record, and this is an experiment in authentic posterity. This week's question is who's your favorite author? I have a really hard time with this one because I have dozens of favorite authors, and it's more dependent on genre. Uh, for fantasy and horror, I'd say Stephen King. For science fiction, I'd have to throw in the classic Douglas Adams and Tolkien, but also Terry Pratchett. And I'm a big fan recently of Christopher Reduccio and Brian Sanderson, and that genre. And I guess if you look back over the course of my lifetime and ask me to pick favorite authors, and limited me to one, I would probably have to say Albert Camus. Um, The Stranger is a book that I reread almost every year. It means quite a bit to me, that concept of finding that bit of life in yourself, despite everything else that can be taken away from you, and really finding meaning in your existence today. Not in your future existence, not in the things you might accomplish, but in actually experiencing the joys and the meaning of today. I think that was pretty pivotal to me philosophically, so that's probably why Camus is my favorite all-time author. Although I think that Camus also has an excellent use of words and language and a great storytelling methodology, great emotional content and context. Favorite lesbian author, I would have to say for many of the same reasons as Camus, Jeanette Winterson. Uh, when I first read Written on the Body, one of Jeanette Winterson's books, it was revolutionary, right? The use of words and story, and the love of language there was palpable, as a reader from the very first. So I was hooked on the elements of style, but also on the content and the deeper symbolism and meaning behind the story, and that every page had sort of a new philosophical, emotional nugget of wisdom buried within the entertainment. It's just a lot of the same reason I love Terry Pratchett and Douglas Adams, right? Highly comedic elements of science, fiction or fantasy, and they also buried within their work, besides being highly entertaining stories, are these wisdoms of emotional reality that we all experience. And that's why they're some of my favorite writers. And as a writer myself, that's what I am really struggling to do. Part of it is to tell a good story and certainly to be entertaining, but within that entertaining story, to also put those tough to learn emotional realities and nuggets of wisdom that make life joyful and take a while to discover. I think, reading is a great way to go through a lot of mental simulations, not necessarily of what reality is like, but of what feelings we commonly encounter in our human experience, and how to handle those feelings, and what behaviors lead to the most fulfilling outcomes. And the writers who are able to help us do that, I think, will always be my favorites. What are your favorites? I'm always looking for new stuff to read. Thanks for listening.